European Union leaders are meeting in Brussels to discuss the Eurozone debt crisis. French President François Hollande says there is a need for more solidarity in dealing with the crisis. France and Germany are divided on how to move forward. Nick Spicer's in Brussels for us now. And just about a couple of hours ago, Nick, we saw Angela Merkel arriving, and it does seem as if the German Chancellor is going into this meeting increasingly isolated.
That's fair to say, although it is worth pointing out that Germany is typically backed up by the Netherlands and Finland in its stand for more austerity, for more reforms. This summit is supposed to be about a report that has been put together by Herman Van Rompuy, who is the President of the European Council, along with 3 other top EU officials. In 7 pages, it sketches out the next 10 years of the European Union's financial future, foresees a possible finance minister. It foresees possible penalties for countries that spend too much. But is this the panacea, the magic wand that everybody has been waiting for? We may not even find out, because the report is being overshadowed by disagreements between France and Germany, to which you were just referring, with some countries such as France and Italy saying, look, we can't even raise money on the bond markets this week. We need money tomorrow. We're worried on Monday what will happen if we don't come up with a solution to secure financing. Angela Merkel, however, is saying that Eurobonds, which is a solution whereby Germany would back up the debts of other countries and which many see as a way of wiping away markets' fears, will not happen during her lifetime. A polite way of saying, perhaps, over my dead body. The big problem here is that France and Germany, the countries that have taken the lead in the past, are not seeing eye to eye at the beginning of the summit. As our man in Paris tells us, this is Peter Sharp.
Angela Merkel has no ally in the French president anymore. François Hollande's ideas differ from those of his predecessor, Nicolas Sarkozy. But on the eve of an EU summit to tackle the Eurozone crisis, the talk was of unity.
We are conscious that we have to prepare measures for financial stability, and we both want to deepen the economic, financial and political ties for more integration and solidarity.
But as Spain, Italy and Greece all struggle with their borrowing costs, the German Chancellor effectively squashed a much-discussed potential new tool, the Eurobond. For the German Chancellor, only the hard slog of structural reform will pull Europe back from the brink, not the quick fix of collectivizing debt.
Apart from the fact that Eurobonds and Euro bills and so on are unconstitutional in Germany, I believe they're economically wrong and counterproductive.
Such staunch opposition goes down well in Germany, which objects to the higher interest rates Eurobonds imply. But Merkel is increasingly isolated and time is running out. Earlier on, the Prime Minister of Spain, the Eurozone's 4th largest economy, said his country's debts have become too expensive to afford. We can't keep funding ourselves for a long time at the prices we're currently seeing. There are many financial institutions that have no access to the financial markets. It happens in Spain, it happens in Italy, and it happens in other countries. European leaders like François Hollande may agree with Merkel that structural reform is necessary, but that, they say, takes years. With things worsening by the day, the euro may not last that long.
Both our work on growth and jobs and our reflection on the future.
Now, it sounds, of course, like there are major disagreements, and there are major disagreements, but it is a requirement for Angela Merkel and for Mr. Monti, Italy's leader, to show that there are disagreements to their domestic electorates. One reason why Angela Merkel needs to leave to Berlin tomorrow to get a 3/5 majority in the Bundestag. She needs to prove to the parliamentarians that she has fought her corner, and Monti equally needs to prove that he has fought his corner in Brussels if he is to continue getting support for the painful reforms that he is bringing about. So we do need to take with a small grain of salt what the European leaders are saying here in Brussels, but that is not at all to minimize the challenges that they face. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much indeed. Nick Spicer reporting live as that EU crisis summit gets underway.